Hello. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us live, on a Friday night. Okay, so major black swan event, in the crypto space in the last couple of days, and FTX, one of the largest exchanges out there, is facing what we call insolvency, right? Due to some findings in their balance sheet that doesn't really adds up, right? Okay, and that actually caused fear in the crypto space, and people started dumping their crypto, okay, causing the price to drop actually massively. And of course, Bitcoin and many others hit what we call the year low, right? The year low, right? But for many people, right, the real question is, how is this is this already a bottom? Some people may be asking. And can we buy now? Some people think that, hey, it's already so low. Can we buy now? Or will the whole of this crypto market actually maybe collapse worse, right? Okay, so tonight we aim to find out all these so-called burning questions that we have been hearing for the last few days, right? And most importantly, let's find out, is it the right time to start buying as well? Okay, yeah, but before I go on, I see some of you already, so-called live with us together. Okay, so if you are here, maybe just type in a simple hello in the chat so we know that you are here with us. Or what you can do is just tap on the like button so we know that you are here with us as well. All right, okay, so I think, okay, fantastic. Okay, great. Okay, so with me tonight, I also have two very special guests. In fact, it's supposed to be three. But one of them, which is Vanessa, she has a last minute engagement and she cannot be here tonight with us, right? And she sends apologies, right? She really wants to be here, but nevertheless, we still have two very special guests, okay, in this Zach and Ginny, who are both very experienced crypto investors as well. And tonight they will also be giving some views about the market itself. Okay, so maybe I can get both of them to just say a very quick hello, to everyone, right? So maybe Ginny, you want to say hello, just to say a few
Hello,
words.
everyone.
Okay.
Leslie and Zach. Good evening. Yep. So we have a very interesting scenario that happened past few days, right? So here to actually have a chit chat session and also share about what we see in the market, what we think it will happen in the next few months or in the near term lah. Right, so can't wait to share with everyone, and just feel free to share anything. If you have any questions, just type in the chat below. We would like to discuss about this scenario. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so Zach, say a few words of hello.
Hey, someone say your hello sounds so sad, so I must be more enthusiastic. Hello, everyone. Okay, yeah.
It's right there.
I think it's a good catch up session as well, and I think we have some interesting sharing today. So if you like, help us like and share the video if you can. Okay, and then get more people in, to participate. So we have more engagement. Also try to ask more questions. Engage with us a little bit on the chat. So that we know we are not alone. Okay.
Yeah, okay. So indeed, it's a little bit sad, because of the whole crypto market situation. That's why maybe Ginny sound like that. Okay, just kidding. But actually there are some opportunities. So let's find out. All right. Okay. So fantastic. So let's move on to the agenda tonight. So what are we going to talk about tonight? Of course, number one, we want to know what is the possible price movement. Okay, is there any opportunity for us? And we can do so by looking at number one, what we call on-chain analysis. Okay, which if you are familiar with what we the stock equity market, right, it's almost like reading the balance sheet. Okay, and doing what we call fundamental analysis. Okay, so I believe some of you may be very familiar with that. These are very interesting data. There are very interesting data that we see, especially the last one that we're going to share with you. Okay, so of course, and technical analysis, we cannot run away from that. Okay, so we look at the chart and see if there's any possible movement as well. All right, and finally, of course, do stay with us till the end, because it's probably going to be like a 30-40 minutes, okay, live session. And because also we are going to be giving a giveaway. We're going to have a giveaway, okay, because it's bad news, right? So we want to give you some good news as well, okay? So worth US dollar 1,008. So with again all the bad news going around, we hope that this can bring a little bit of joy to everyone. All right, okay. So let's move on. And first up, just a quick disclaimer. First, do note that whatever discussed tonight will be meant for educational purpose and general information only. So it is also imperative that you also do your own due diligence in any form of investment, your own research as well. So today, myself, Zach, and Ginny are giving our opinion and our views, and they should not be taken as any form of buy-sell signals or any financial advice. All right. Okay. So with that out of the way, let's go on to the first point. First point that we want to talk about. All right. Okay. So what we want to know also at this current moment, when things drop, right, we want to look at what the institutional players are doing at this moment. Makes sense, because they are the whales, they are the people holding large amount of Bitcoin and crypto. Okay, so if there's any movement from them, whether it's sell, or what you call this buying action, right, it probably can cause some movement, okay, in the price itself. All right, but before I go on, I see a question, right? I say that, do you need StreamYard permission for Facebook? To be frank, if you watch the live alone, no need, but you can see that your name right here is Facebook user. It's just to show your name. All right, so if that's not important, that's fine. All right, okay, so let me go back to the slide. All right, so if we look at this Grayscale, okay, Grayscale is a very important, okay, Grayscale right here. Let me just bring your attention here. Grayscale, right, investment, okay, in short, GBTC. Okay, so GBTC, Grayscale alone, they hold about close to 3% of the world's Bitcoin supply. Can you imagine that? Okay, so and you can see that on around 8th November, okay, where all things started and the selling has begun for them. Can you see that? The selling has begun for them, and obviously they know something earlier than normal retail investors. Can you see they sell slightly earlier than all the crazy saga going on and things like that? Okay, and interestingly, you can see they started buying back 2 or 3 days back after selling. Okay, why would you buy something back so quickly after selling for 2-3 days? All right, so to me, that is a good sign. Okay, and it further shows that there is nothing fundamentally wrong with Bitcoin or crypto itself. Okay, the drop or crash is caused by fear and panic, and that is normal, right? Because people are fearful, they start to sell away their assets. Okay, but institutional player and smart investors will make use of this opportunity, okay, to position themselves better. Can you see that? Okay, as you can see, GBTC or Grayscale has maintained, can you see a straight line, okay, a certain number of Bitcoin holding throughout the entire graph that we can see here. Why is that so? Okay, because they have obligation to hold a certain amount of Bitcoin for their investors. All right, so they are like a fund, so you can invest in their company and then they invest in Bitcoin for you. Okay, so in case you are wondering what they do, right? So it means that they will eventually have to go back to this level. Does it make sense? Okay, and we can see that there's still some shortfall. They're probably waiting for some more dips, maybe, and then they probably buy back and then to maintain this level again. Make sense? Okay. So again, why sell when they're going to buy back in a couple of few days? Make sense? Okay. So it's opportunity to them if you think about it. Okay, to reduce the overall cost of their holding, and of course, along the way, make some tidy profit. Why not? Okay. Of course, all these big companies, they have some obligation. They cannot sell everything. They cannot sell everything because that will cause a bigger crash, and the investors are left with nothing to invest, right? That cannot work. Okay, so that is a good thing for us, right? So that's number one, right? And the next thing, right, I'm going to show you is what we call the crypto 4-year cycle. Okay, so if you have been following cryptocurrency closely, right, okay, it has always been the case that there is this thing called a 4-year cycle. Okay, that starts with bearish year. Okay, and then a neutral year, meaning you say that it's not really up or down. It's like almost like a sideways market, right? Okay, and then followed by bullish year, where the price goes up, and a parabolic year means that it's a crazy bullish year. As we know what happened, 2022, you just buy any crypto, you probably make a lot of money. Okay, but okay, and coming to 2022, it has proven that it follows exactly this cycle. We are almost the end of year already. Okay, unless the last 1 month prove otherwise, but we have been following this cycle. Okay, so if you can see, we have ticked one of the 4 boxes already in this new cycle. Okay, and if we follow this pattern right now, that also means that we should be near the bottom and going out of the bearish year already. Make sense? Okay, into the neutral year. All right, so I wish I can tell you more about this 4-year cycle, because there are actually many interesting things that revolve around this concept. Okay, but it will actually take more time than we like, and probably now it's already 9, we're probably late into the night. Okay, so we don't want to do that. We want to focus on more on the Bitcoin bottom and all that. Okay, but if you are interested to actually know more about this so-called 4-year cycle and how you can actually so-called make use of the 4-year cycle and potentially profit from it, right? Okay, so we do have a 2-hour crypto workshop from time to time. So it depends, sometimes once a month, sometimes twice a month. Okay, so if you like, you can join us there, then we can discuss and talk more. Okay, so by the way, how many of you are actually interested to attend? You can just type in interested. Okay, interested in the comment. Okay, and then we will give you the link later to register, because I don't want to flood the Facebook Live with too many different links. Okay, so only if you're interested now, only if you're interested, just type interested, then we actually will send you the link later lah. Okay, so by the way, it's complimentary. So it's free of charge. So it's 2 hours. Just type interested. Okay, if you want to attend this. Okay, and then but it will be probably next week or so. Right. Okay. So moving on. Okay. So this is actually my favorite. Okay, my favorite. Okay. So the MVRV ratio. Okay, Bitcoin MVRV ratio. Okay. So this ratio, right? Okay, by the way, MVRV stands for market value over realized value ratio. Okay, why do I like it so much? Okay, because it is 100% winning strategy so far. Okay, so far I'm not saying that it will always be 100%. Okay, because it works until it doesn't. Okay, a lot of things happen that way, right? But so far it has been 100%. Okay, so let me explain very quickly, right, how you can enter this Bitcoin so-called using this strategy, using this MVRV. It's actually very simple. So you can see, we look at the bottom first, right? Whenever the black line, okay, goes below 1.0 right here, okay, which means that anything that is below this line, okay, is a good time to buy. Okay, so you can see that right now it's below 1.0. Okay, but that's not all. You have to combine what is at the top, okay, which is the Bitcoin price in yellow, okay, and then a dotted line. So whenever the yellow line, which is the Bitcoin price, or orange line, okay, goes above the dotted line, which is essentially this part, okay, it's a good time to buy. Can you see that? Okay, and it's also below the 1.0. Okay, so likewise for here, okay, you would have bought in here. Can you see that? Bought in here. All right, so when do you sell? You sell when it goes below the dotted line. Can you see that? Okay, it typically will be quite a good price to sell. Can you see that? Okay, so that's how you buy and sell. So far, it's 100% winning rate. Okay, and the last run of this, right, if you have gone in here and exit here, your profit is 7,400%. 7,400%. Okay, crazy, huh? Okay, so let's look at now, because these are all the past. Okay, these are past. Right now, right, okay, you can see that it has fulfilled the number 1 criteria. It has to go below the 1.0 first. Okay, but interestingly, let me show you something. Okay, this one, right, okay, is right now. Okay, has it crossed the dotted line? Not yet, but the first one fulfilled already. Can you see now? Okay, this is what I just showed you, but in a more zoom in, correct? Okay, zoom in so-called view. Okay, I haven't crossed, so we should not buy yet. Okay, not yet. Okay, but interestingly, right, if we go back to 2018, you can see that the movement is very similar. Okay, what happened is that it crosses the 1.0 line and thought that, hey, our chance is coming soon, right? Okay, and this is very, very close right here. It's a bit small. Try to see. Okay, it's almost crossed the dotted line. You thought that, hey, the chance is coming, but the next moment it falls. Can you see? It's just like this line right here. It start to come down. Okay, probably come down more. It starts to come down. All right, can you see? But the next few moments, okay, the next few days or weeks, okay, it started to go over the dotted line. Okay, so if this were to follow the same pattern, which I feel that it would, okay, probably would, okay, then it's time for us to buy in the next few days or maybe a few weeks. All right. Okay. So in fact, right? In fact, I've been talking, and my two guests are just staring now. Okay. So not so nice. So in fact, Zach recently also showed me something which I would say kind of coincide with this MVRV. Okay, something very similar to the 4-year cycle that we just mentioned. I just mentioned in the previous slide. Okay, because there is something very important in the whole of the crypto space that also happened every 4 years. Okay, so I'm not sure if you all know that. Okay, it's the World Cup. Okay, no, just kidding. Okay, it's what we call the Bitcoin halving. Okay, Bitcoin halving, which actually happens every 4 years. Zach, maybe you can share with them what you shared with me earlier. Okay, this thing I think is pretty interesting, and yeah. Okay, so Zach, are you here?
Okay. Yep.
Well,
Okay,
let me
so
see.
I hope everybody can hear me. Yep. I think recent events, right, get us very interested. I mean, not only interested lah, but start to wonder, what is really happening. And like what uh this Leslie mentioned, right, in crypto, okay, this 4-year cycle that was being shared earlier, right, um very nicely, right, coincide with our Bitcoin halving. Okay, and I don't know if how many of you don't know what is a Bitcoin halving. You can type in N in the chat. Okay, for no. Okay, so Bitcoin halving actually occurs every 4 years. Okay, is to actually cut the supply of Bitcoin. Okay, that that can be mint. Okay, and can be mined. Okay, so the purpose, right, the main purpose is actually to deflate Bitcoin. Okay, unlike currency, right, that you can fiat currency that you can keep printing and printing and printing. Okay, so if you look at the chart over here, right, this is something that we actually previously shared with our student. Okay, on a possible potential, okay, of what to come. Of course, we can say that um we cannot 100% take history as an example that it will definitely repeat itself. Okay, but we can take history data as a reference, okay, to what might come. Okay, of course, every thing that reflected on the history that come when it comes in the future, right, it will definitely have something new that we will not be able to anticipate, like what happened, recently in all the crypto spaces. We have the lunar crash, then followed by the FTX now, but what if the momentum is the same? Okay, and then you will see that you see this 4-year cycle that is actually very similar to the previous halving. Okay, and very interestingly, right, I also recently came across a chart, okay, on TradingView that give a more precise indication, right, on uh the movement, okay, in regards to the 4-year cycle. Okay, let me share with you guys. Okay, if you can see the screen, right, okay, over here. So you can see that in the first halving that we have in 2012, okay, we saw the exact movement, with a bull run, parabolic run, a bearish year, okay, followed by a recovery year, okay, and then a bull run with a second halving, parabolic year, a bear run from 2018 to 2019, and then we saw a recovery or a recovery year. Okay. And then of course it hit our 2021, right? 2020 halving. Okay. We also have a bull run. Last year we have a parabolic run, like what Leslie mentioned, right? You buy anything also make money, right? Okay. And then we start to have our bear market. Okay, now, okay. So what is to come? Okay, like I mentioned earlier, okay, history might not repeat itself. Okay, but data supported us, right? That shows if the data is right, okay, it might okay, come now to a slow recovery year in 2023, okay, some momentum, and then followed by another bull run, okay, or even a parabolic run, okay. But and this chart, right, interestingly also show, right, the support points, okay, of the price. So a lot of our students in our community, when this FTX saga happened, right, was asking like, or what is the prediction of it, okay, of the Bitcoin bottom, okay, is it uh gone already, or crypto gone, it's going to, and then Binance getting involved and all these kind of news, right, a lot of people, and then there was actually a glitch yesterday. I don't know if you all know, right, there is a USDT depeg, okay, but this coin gecko actually emitter is a glitch on their side lah. Okay, so all these things give people the FOMO that crypto maybe is going to be gone already. Okay, finish, no more. Okay, but is it really true? Okay, we don't think so. And then Leslie shared in the community also some of the uh possible bottom price, which also coincidentally also indicate on this chart that I found on TradingView, right, which is the possible bottom of a 13,880. Okay, why? Okay, very simple. In terms of our support and resistance, right, is actually at the previous all-time high month, okay, price. Okay, so this is some sort of like a psychological level, okay, for people. So it's possible the low, okay, but will it go lower? We don't know. Okay, this is only a analysis that we can do now. Okay, so I also want to share with you guys on a chart, right, to give you some confident bet. Okay, because if you ask me, right, based on my opinion, Bitcoin is it the bottom already? Okay, I'm not sure. I think it's near. Okay, but definitely not over. Okay, so this is actually on-chain calls basis on Glassnode. Okay, so Leslie was also sharing some MVRV just now, right, which is also a on-chain data analysis. Okay, so the good thing about cryptocurrency is that they are all recorded, okay, on the blockchain. Okay, so we can actually take all this data that is provided or available, right, to meet um analysis, okay, and see what is the sentiment, okay, of people in the market, right? So if you look at this on-chain cost basis, right, looks very complicated, but actually it's very simple. Okay, if you look at the red line, right, red line is actually, okay, the Bitcoin holder that is in short-term holding. Okay, basically they are 5 months or less. Okay, and in the blue line, these are the long-term holders. Like me, Leslie, Jingy. But on this data is actually more than 5 months. Okay, more than 5 months, they consider long-term holders. Okay, in the past, if you look back into 2021, right, you will see that the graph, right, or these three line, okay, yellow line, the orange line is actually the realized price, okay, of Bitcoin. Yeah. So you can see that this price actually goes very nicely, okay, in parallel. Okay, why? Because the short-term holder, okay, they will be FOMO, so they will always be buying the top. Okay, they will want to get into market space. You hear your auntie in the fish market, selling vegetables, selling fish, tell you, hey, 小弟, I want to buy Bitcoin, then you know that you must prepare already. Okay, very dangerous already. Okay, so a lot of retail investor, people who have no knowledge about what is Bitcoin, start getting into the market, and then the long-term holder start to liquidate some of their account, okay, some of their position, okay, for profit. Okay, so this is usually a very how should I say, a very normal scene, okay, a normal indication, okay, of a bull market. Okay, and right now what we can see is that the line actually cross and convert. There's a convergence, right? Okay, and the good thing is, right, usually, okay, before I come to the good news about this data analysis, okay, so it show us that the long-term holder, right now their cost basis is actually at a resistance of about 23,000. Okay, what does this mean? This means that there might be a long-term holder, okay, in the market. They are tired already. Wow, this 1 year of bear market, I'm tired. Stock market drop also even worse. My crypto also like that. I want to give up already. I don't want to be so tired every day, cannot sleep. So at a psychological level, right, of a 23,000, these are the point where people would want to exit for the long-term holder. Okay, because potentially they have slight profit, or I should rather say, right, they break even. Okay, because uh they have been losing money, or they have been seeing their paper loss for so long, right, and then when they start to see green only, right, wow, FOMO again. Okay, I want to exit, take back my money. Okay, so this is a psychological level of a resistance at 23,000, and the short-term holder, right, is even worse. Okay, is at 21,000. Okay, because they think that they cannot, they cannot tahan the volatility, on the crypto space. Okay, but the good news, right, the good news that I mentioned just now, good thing that we want to note from this data is that you can see the red line, right, is coming down. Okay, and it's actually converging. Okay, so usually this converging shows that, right, most of these short-term holder, right, or we call the no knowledge retail investor, they are exiting the market. Okay, so they are selling. Okay, so when this rate line come down and they are selling, right, they are selling lower and lower. Okay, they are selling it cheaper and cheaper, meaning the Bitcoin, right now are selling at what, less than their market value. Okay, and who is going to take up? Okay, because when there's a sell, there's a buy, right? So there will be long-term holder, conviction holder, or even knowledgeable holders, right? They want to get in, right? They come in to buy at a cheap price. Okay, from all these weekend, okay, we call. Okay, and typically, right, when this convergence occurs, right, when it gets tighter and tighter, right, okay, it also usually signifies that the bottom is in. Okay, so is it really in? I'm not sure. Okay, but this is something that is reflected on the data that we see now. Okay, on chain data, right? And yeah, so this is my sharing. And before I pass it on back to Leslie, right? My personal view again. Okay, I think for people, okay, who want to get into market, whether is it in crypto market, stock market, whatever market it is, right, we need to understand that bear market, right, is a process. Okay, it's a kind of a structural process. Unfortunately, it is not the result. Okay, just like the dot-com bubble, we are still very confident, 90% of the dot-com company crash, okay, and disappear from the market, but there will always be the technology that stays on, okay, and if the evolution of that will continue. All right. So this is something for you guys to ponder about, okay, and I'll pass the mic back to Leslie.
Okay, fantastic. Thanks, Zach, for the wonderful insight sharing. Okay, so people who are watching, those who are watching live right now. Okay, so we are putting a lot of effort to talk. Okay, so you're probably resting, relaxing. Okay, just do one thing for us. Tap on the love button this time. Okay, even if you have tapped on the like button previously, you still can tap on the love one. The Facebook Live books like that. I can tap many times. So don't be stingy. Free one. Okay. So you know that you love sharing so far and give some encouragement to Zed, who, I thought, well, maybe just say 2 or 3 sentences, but he spoke like 30 sentences. So just a love button for him. All right. Okay. So Ginny as well, maybe you have anything to add on this. Is very interesting, insights from Zach. Yeah. Because I
Yeah,
know
what
that
Zach
you
has
also look at on-chain data, right, yourself?
Yeah, yep. So what Zach has already shown, right? It is exactly what we are looking at from previous data for the past two long-term bear market. When we say long-term bear market is in crypto terms, it's actually just 4 years now, right? But then like this year when it started to drop, right? Since end of last year, all-time high until this year, right? The 1 year of the bear market. It feels like 10 years to us, right? So, but it's in actual fact, it's actually just 1 year, and because of this the volatility of cryptocurrency, right? It is we can actually learn from the on-chain data, where data speaks 1,000 words, lah, right? We don't have to speculate a lot of things like what Leslie has already shared just now and what Zach has already shared just now. It was all data, right? It was all data, and then we can actually use data, right, to help us with our trading, to help us with our long-term holding. And what we are holding now, if personally, I'm holding mostly on BTC and a little bit in Ethereum, right? Because when BTC will be the king during bear market lah, in most of the time, and when the bull market actually comes in, right, it will be a time for us to actually get into other altcoins, and probably Ethereum will get in more, right? Whatever that Zach actually showed just now, right? The red color line, actually the short-term holders, right, is actually also showing, right? The altcoin holders, they are actually actively selling, and probably the altcoin has already sold out towards the bottom already. Now the huge cap will follow by, and when the huge cap actually hovering around 14,000, right? It is when is when we from the data we will think that it is nearer to the bottom already, right? Yep. I say you're on mute.
Yeah, I just realized that. Okay, so yeah, thanks, Ginny and Zach, for the sharing. So maybe they deserve more love, if you have not tapped. Okay, so free one, don't be stingy about it. Okay, just kidding. Okay, so yeah, it's a free word. It's a free word. Okay, if you like it, then you type. Okay, so I hope you are liking it so far because we are not even halfway there yet. We have more. We have actually have more data. Okay, more analysis to actually show you and so-called back up some points that we want to bring out to everyone, and hopefully that gives you more confidence in the market, because with all the fear going on around, so we hope that all these can really help everyone a little bit. All right, okay, so next up, let's take a look. Okay, we talk about institutional player, right? When it goes down, like Grayscale itself, they actually sold off their Bitcoin, then just buy it back in the next 2 or 3 days when the price dropped. Okay, so it's very obvious that nothing wrong is with Bitcoin fundamentally. Okay, it is the fear that caused the drop. Okay, that's why they sell away their Bitcoin and buy it back at lower price. Why not, right? So how about for the overall market, which of course includes the institutional player as well, we can see that these are unique address that's being used. Okay, what does that mean? It means that at any one point, okay, every address that is active, okay, you will be recorded on the chain itself as well. Okay, what are addresses? It can be an exchange, it can be a wallet, your MetaMask, your Ledger, and all that. Okay, or your exchange like FTX. Okay, no, okay, don't use it. Yeah, so okay, that's a joke, like KuCoin or whatever, Binance, whichever country you're in that allows them to be operational, right? Okay, so you can see that the price goes down, yet okay, people are accumulating, and again, that's a good sign. Okay, that people are still believing in Bitcoin itself, in crypto itself. Okay, these unique addresses, of course, includes all crypto, right? But if we look at Bitcoin alone, the estimated transaction value, okay, again, it goes down, but the transaction actually went up. Okay, again, because people are they still believe, because again, nothing, it's not a Bitcoin fundamental problem, right? Okay, suddenly, just hypothetically, don't quote me, they come, Satoshi is actually a, maybe a terrorist group. Okay, I will say, maybe it's not. So then, that is something fundamentally wrong. Then we should be afraid. Okay, it's like McDonald's CEO having a affair. Previously there was this incident, right? And then the McDonald's price actually dropped. It doesn't make sense. Okay, because it's, let's say they are using, exaggerating example, the people realize that they are using human meat to make their Big Mac. Okay, so then that's fundamentally wrong with the company. Then we should be afraid. Okay, if not, it's a good time. The CEO have affair, is his own problem. Nothing wrong with McDonald's operation and how they work and all that. Okay, so I hope that explain what we are trying to say right here. Okay, yeah. So all the these are all data which are available to us, on different sites, and data never lies. That's a good thing. Okay, and like Zach mentioned, because it's blockchain, we have everything that is so-called transparent and decentralized, so that you can actually look at them quite easily because everything is recorded on the blockchain. All right. Okay. So after fundamental analysis or on-chain analysis in more crypto term, right? We of course also look at technical analysis. Okay, technical analysis. What is technical analysis? Of course, we dive into the trading chart, and then we look at the so-called the pattern, the momentum, the price movement, and all that, and try to, I don't like to use the word predict now, but I know we try to analyze, or guess where the next movement is based on our analysis. All right. Okay. So, but before we head into the technical analysis part, right? Okay, I like to ask everyone. So just be honest. Do you find something useful so far? Okay. If yes, can you just type in something that you find the most useful so far in the comment? It can be MVRV, it can be the 4-year cycle, or it can be the Grayscale that you found. Oh, actually, they are buying more. Or you can just type in yes lah. Okay, you cannot think of something. Then yes, if you find it useful so far. Okay, yeah, human meat. Okay, so just a joke. So I hope you know. Okay, so I think while waiting for people to type in, okay, so I think there's a question here. You say that the alternate have bottom, time to get back in. I think that's Ginny sharing. Do you want to quickly answer that, Ginny?
Yes,
Oh yeah,
yes, I heard. Sorry,
he replied. Okay, so let me read it out. Okay, yeah, I did mention that's from Ginny. From data, short-term holders mostly invested in hyped alternate coins, and they are mostly very reactive to market movement. But no, in my opinion, it's not the time to get in yet. No, okay. So I mentioned about holding Bitcoin and Ethereum only. Okay, so all the yeses coming in. Okay, so Bonnie also finally we can see one of the names right there. Okay, so yes. Okay, so only two yeses. Okay, so okay lah. So maybe not so good. We aim to improve next time. Okay. Okay. So okay, if yes, okay, maybe in your heart Okay. So we actually need a little small favor, okay, and a little bit of help. Okay. So do you prefer me, because I prefer to be very upfront about it. Okay, if you prefer me to tell you, what kind of favor we need and be very upfront and totally honest about it, can you type in upfront, okay, upfront in the chat, okay? A little small favor only, okay, before we go into technical analysis. So if you can help us with that, then we will start to go into the technical analysis. Okay, so if you want to be me to be very upfront, just type upfront, okay, upfront in the comment, right? Okay, upfront. Okay, upfront. Okay, all of you are Facebook user so even got 10 also all Facebook users. Okay, so I cannot see. Right. Okay, so let me share with you. Okay, to be very upfront. Okay, upfront with alpha, someone mentioned. Okay, I actually don't know what that means, but never mind. Okay, so yeah, to be very totally honest. Okay, we want to build a very close knitted crypto community. Okay, so that we can actually do regulars, so-called sharing like this, okay, like what we are doing right now, okay, which I think a lot of you find it useful, right? So type in the yes and all that. So thank you very much for that. It's a bit of encouragement for us to be frank. Okay, so we need your help to just put the words out. Very simple. Okay, let people know that you attended this talk and there are some useful information that they can also benefit from. Okay, if that is okay, just type an okay in the comment. Okay, so it's like sharing a good movie that you just watched, okay, or a good restaurant that you have just gone, hey, very nice food, so I share with my friend. Okay, if that's okay, type an okay lah. Okay, just type an okay. So I think I need to wait a little bit because the live is a bit lag. Okay, I think all the okay is coming in. Okay, again, all Facebook user cannot really see. Okay, so if okay, just help us put the words out Put the words out. Okay, let people know that, hey, I watch this live. You can go and watch it also and follow them. If you really find it useful. Okay, if you don't find it useful, don't chat. Never mind. Okay, so okay, okay, so okay, Mr. Crypto Turtle, right? So if that's okay. Okay, can we put it into action? Okay, into action. Okay, so can you share? There's a little share button. There's a little share button in the live. Okay, so if you can help us share out, okay, we will be really grateful. Then more people can know about this, and we want to really arrange more of this session in the future. Okay, so we have about, I think, 40 over people. From different, you may see different number, but from different source, right? So I hope that, okay, I aim a little bit higher. If there's 10 shares, okay, 10 shares, okay, then I will go into the technical analysis part. Okay, it means that you all really like it. You like it. Okay, let me check. Okay, so just help us to do a share to your own profile, already. Okay, to your own profile, right? Okay, so while waiting, because it probably take a while. Okay, so maybe we have chit chat a bit first. Okay, Zach and Juni. Okay, so we let them help us share first. Yeah. So I see some of you are talking about the NFT cycle. So I don't know if NFT. I do go into NFT, but not as much as I do in crypto. But if you all don't know, right, Ginny himself is a very brilliant NFT investor himself. Okay, he actually make quite a bit. Okay, and he's very active in it. Okay, so maybe I ask Ginny to share. So what makes you actually started noticing NFT? Then after you went in, then after make some profit. Yeah. What was the
Yeah.
spark? Yeah.
Yeah, Ken. So it all started from 2021, the small bear market, small bear market for cryptocurrencies, right? When they were actually saying that when crypto dump, right, NFT is a hedge during that time. Okay, so there will be a lot of speculations coming into NFT world, and a lot of people have basically nothing much to look forward to because it was a bear market, and then everyone saw some lights in NFT world, right? So a lot of the youngsters, a lot of the degens, right? They actually put a lot of money into NFT, and then NFT just pump. You buy anything, just like the crypto bull market and cryptocurrencies, right? In NFT, it had a very very bullish session for around half a month, half a year, right? And then basically you buy anything as long as you can mint it. Meaning minting means that you actually can have the priority purchase for a certain project. Basically, buy anything as long as you can buy it first hand, you can basically earn a fortune from them. Then right, as you go along, you understand more about the projects and what are they actually going through, right? NFT, it is a mere fundraising projects, right? When you do angel investing, when you do fundraisings, right, you will actually get investors in, explain to them what are they actually doing, and convince investor to actually invest in your projects. And most of the time, as angel investing, right, you will know that you are potentially throwing your money into the sea, and you basically don't get it. But then don't get it back. But then if the angel investing becomes a unicorn, right, then you'll be hitting a jackpot, right? This is where people try to invest in angel try to be an angel investor in Silicon Valley and all this, when the stock market bull in Silicon Valley, all those technologies company actually come up. NFT is seeing this kind of things for the part since end of middle of last year, right? So but then, right, a lot of project people gotten greedy. A lot of people actually gotten greedy. Basically, right, it's very very easy to actually create projects, to actually launch a project, to create images, right, photos or profile pictures, or any drawings. It is actually computer generated drawings. So then it is so easy to generate. Every single people, you and me, can actually generate NFT projects, right? From then on, it is always it will only be downturn. Why? Because and there's no utility to the projects. Everyone just want to take a little bit of the pie, take a little bit of the pie, and everyone just take without giving back to build the space, and eventually it will just crash, just like together with the overall market. So when FTX actually happened the other day, right, a lot of people got liquidated in crypto, right? But in NFT, right, it is so illiquid. Illiquid means that it is very hard for you to actually uh, release or actually sell off your asset in a faster manner. When you need liquid, you can't really sell it, right? So if you notice, right, during the huge sell off for FTX, right, um, um, in crypto everything just sell off, but then in NFT, right, it almost sold off like 100% more than the crypto sold off, right? So because people actually got liquidated, they need more money, so they actually sell off their NFT at a very very cheap price. So this is what happened, right? NFT would be, if you want me to actually categorize NFT, it will be the riskiest asset because it is the youngest asset then compared to cryptocurrency, then compared to the stock market, where stock market has where they are actually regulated. Then again, with the heaviest risk, right, you actually can find opportunity in it also. So from actually from early of the year, I've been trading NFT. Basically, I have been buying and selling NFT. I don't hold many NFT now, mainly just to generate more Ethereum to collect more Ethereum. Yeah, so this is um, my strategy for NFT for now, until I study deeper, or I found other ways to actually understand NFT further, or maybe if I found a very good project that I think that this has a potential of growing of holding, then something that I will hold longer lah. So for until then, I will be flipping NFT and earn from them. Yeah.
Okay. Well, again, very interesting insights, okay, from Ginny. So those who are interested in NFT, I hope you get some tips and all that. Okay. So again, I thought it will be like 3-4 sentences, sharing. Wow. So Ginny and Zed really do their best to share. Okay. So yeah, but they share lah, but I never see your share okay, or Facebook or from you got share or not. Just now type okay, ask me upfront. That say okay, can help me share. Then now I ask you action, never action one. Then okay lah, never mind lah. So 算了啦。Next time 不要做了啦。Okay, no 啦。Okay, kidding 啦啊，we okay, free will啦。Okay, so should I skip the technical analysis or you think Zach and Jenny, because they never sharing? How? If not later, we will next time say, Leslie, never share also, will share one. No need help him. Okay.
Let them share something and you share.
We end here lah then.
Okay lah, we don't want, we don't want to do this like like what you call that ransom lah. Okay, no lah. Okay, we don't want to do that. Okay, so but really hope lah, because we really very upfront with you. Okay, what we want to do is really to have more people in the community. Okay, so yeah, so never mind. Some of you says you shared, so maybe it's not updated. Okay lah, benefit of doubt. Okay, so it's a Facebook problem. Okay, probably they share already lah. I also don't think they are not so kind one. Okay, all right. So let me move on. Okay, let me go to the technical analysis. Okay, so but I will share half only. Okay, I share half only because yeah. Okay lah, kidding. Okay, wait. Let me just switch my screen. It's right here. Okay, so believe you all can see. Okay, so of course, this is the typical Bitcoin chart. Okay, in tradingview.com, which is a free website that you can use. All right. Okay, so what happened is that you can see prior to the drop, right, which is right here in the last few days, okay, of craziness, right, in the crypto market itself. Right, you can see that it has been trading the range, okay, for a very long time. Okay, I believe this is over almost half a year. Okay, from almost half a year. Okay, about 5 months in or so. Okay, it has been moving in this, and it's not really going anywhere. Okay, until of course it went down. Okay, and it actually touches some sort of support. Okay, previously there is actually a very strong support right here. Can you see this line right here? There's a very strong support, okay? And you see that the price typically don't go below that. Even if it does, it doesn't stay there. This range itself. Can you see that? Right? So even right now, it kind of formed a little bit of resistance already. Okay, when it's a strong support, it's also a strong resistance. When it's a strong resistance, it's also a strong support. Okay, so it's both sides, right? And if we look at it, why now there's some form of support currently about 15,000 plus, right? Of course, it went up again. Okay, we go beyond or before that, we can see that there's some sort of support right here. That's why it's been quite strong at 18,000 over, and it's been staying there for quite a long time, right? Over 5 to 6 months, and didn't break down. Okay, until more fear came in because of a exchange that probably going to shut down. And at current moment, this was the low, and you can see that again, if you trace back, there's some form of support again right there. Okay, so the next question is, people are saying that, hey, why, it could go lower, or like 11, 12,000, or slightly below 10,000, 9,000 plus, or some people, okay, if you read some articles say, oh, it's going to go to 6,000 plus, okay, or if some people even say 4,000 plus, okay, which, to be frank, is not entirely impossible, to be very honest, because it's crypto anyway, okay. So if another one or two black swan event like the FTX thing happen, which we cannot control, it might, okay. But I'm quite sure if there's nothing so-called this kind of news that come out again, it shouldn't, okay. I'm about maybe 70% quite sure that it shouldn't go all the way to even below $10,000. Okay, so why are people saying that? Firstly, let's find out why are people saying that these are some levels, that it could go to, right, for Bitcoin, because of the previous resistance or support that is very strong. Can you see that? A lot of price, a lot of resistance and support was right here, and then here there was a resistance as well. Okay, but in between here, from here to here, you see that there's a little bit of gap. Okay, until of course you go back a little bit further back, right? So people are saying that it could go all the way here, or maybe, okay, even all the way until 4,000 plus, which is right here. Okay, so again, all this price possible or not? Possible. Okay, anything is possible, but I personally think that unlikely. Okay, unless another black swan happen. Okay, why? Why is that so? Let's take a look. Okay, so remember on the MVRV, it looks very similar, okay, to 2018. So if we look at the price chart, okay, which follows the MVRV that I showed you earlier on, okay, it has a similar pattern that you can see that it was trading in a range, okay, for a pretty long time. Okay, if you want to take this range, is all the way until here. You see, there's a range, okay, that has been trading for a long time, okay, until it starts to fall below. Okay, in fact, I would say maybe not this range, but this range. Okay, this range, you see. Okay, and what happened next? There was a sudden drop. Okay, and if you can find the news okay, everybody is saying that it's going to go down to the previous level, 1,000 plus, or even $600. Okay, there are again talks like that, right? So this start to come down a little bit, okay, and the next moment that, okay, if you were to take advantage of this drop, okay, the returns is quite crazy. All right, okay, so take a look. If this pattern were to follow, okay, this pattern were to follow, okay, it probably, if I were to draw a line, right, okay, let me see how can I draw a line. Oh, this is not Zoom. On Zoom, wait, let me see if I can get a tool. Wait, there's a drawing tool. Oh, let me find it. Okay, I can use the highlighter. All right, so you can see that probably goes up a bit. I will say that it probably get resisted here. All right, and I think it will go down further, to be honest. Okay, to have a little bit more scare to people. Okay, but where will it go? Okay, I think Zach briefly mentioned, okay, which I also mentioned that point as well. Okay, and then probably next we probably go and we see. Okay, will it go all the way up to 69,000 again? The answer is probably yes, but not in the next 1 year. My take is, okay, probably take another 2 years before it actually can break above this one. If you follow the 4 year cycle, it should be like that. The next year is what? A more sideways market, okay, with a little bit of recovery. All right, so probably 20 over 1,000, 26, or maybe 30 over 1,000. Okay, that's my so-called analysis. All right, so where is the point that I think you'll go to? Okay, it's pretty specific. It's actually a magic number. Okay, very funny one. Okay, 13,800. Okay, okay, let me put a different color. Say purple color. Okay, so this level is probably, oops, sorry. Am I still sharing? Okay, yeah, sorry, just something just popped up just now. Right, so this 13,800, you can see that there's actually not much support in the previous parabolic year. Okay, but if we look back, okay, there is quite a strong resistance at this price itself, okay, and some support. Okay, and why this particular 13,800 this price okay, Zach shared that it was a previous high for one of the month that is in the previous cycle. Okay, the highest month, put it this way. Okay, in the first year of the so-called 4-year cycle, which is the bearish year, right? Okay, so this year the bearish year lowest could be the previous bearish year highest. Okay, that is sentiments in play again. Okay, it's a psychological barrier, so it's somewhere 13,800, and we notice that okay, it has happened for the past 2 cycle. Okay, 2 or 3 cycle, right? So whenever it drops more than, it has to drop more than 80% first. Okay, so this is 84%. Okay, so how much have we dropped from the all-time high right now? Sorry. Okay, currently is 17,334. Okay, so highest agak roughly like 69,000 all the way until right here. Okay, 77.85. Okay, so we are still a little bit short. Okay, so if you have a calculator with you, okay, on review, can you count what is 69,000, okay, minus 80%, or you take 69,000 times 0.2 lah, okay, 0.2, which is left with 20%. What's the number? What's the magic number that appear? Okay, if you all have the number, you all okay, put in a comment. Okay. Okay, you can see that it should be on this purple line that I just draw just now. All right, so does it mean that it will be zun accurately at there? Likely not also lah. Maybe it goes down a little bit. Okay, just like the previous cycle, we saw that it went up 84%. Okay, but 80% is in any asset, you see 80% drop is very scary really. Okay, so that has been the historical so-called drop that happens before it actually goes up back. Okay, and if you follow the stock market, history always repeats itself somehow. Okay, somehow. Okay, for crypto, its history is about 13 years. Okay, you can argue that it may be not so accurate because it's shorter. Okay, but because the nature of Bitcoin and crypto, right? Okay, is 24 hours, meaning to say that if you really compress it right into the US stock market trading, right? Okay, Bitcoin has been around and traded for about 70 years, 60 over years. Okay, so if you ask me, that's enough data. Okay, that is enough data. Okay, for us to follow the historical price point. Right. So yeah, based on some of the data on chain analysis that we see, and this again based on history and a little bit of support and resistance, we think that between 13 to 14,000 will probably be the bottom, right? Unless another black swan event happens, right? So, but let's take a look. Let's use a more logical approach. Okay, logical approach, right? What does that mean? Because it can still be, we can still be wrong. Let me delete all this first. Okay, because we cannot predict what will happen next. Maybe another touchwood exchange collapse, then we may see further downside. Okay, but let's look at what we call risk to reward. Risk to reward. So what happens is that if you were to buy it at 13,800, okay, let's say you put a buy order right here. Okay, you ask yourself, where do you think it will be the point that you think that Bitcoin is gone? Okay, you should stop. Okay, 6,000 plus. So you lose about, let's take this one, 6,000 plus. I think 4,000 plus a bit crazy lah. So imagine this, imagine you buy at 13,000, really go to 6,000 plus, you exit, okay, you take the loss. Okay, so you lose about 50% right here. Okay, you see 49 right here, 49.84. Okay, but what is the potential upside? Let's take a look at this logically. Okay, we shall not say that it goes all the way back to 69,000, but I believe it can. Why? Because it has been proven that it cannot. Correct? So at least you should go back up. Okay, but that will probably take another 1-2 years, in my opinion, really. Okay, so let's take half. So 69,000 divided by 2 is 34,500. Okay, so if it goes back to 34,500, half of the all-time high, somewhere, I think roughly we are almost there. Okay, this one. Okay, 34,400 plus. What is the reward? 150%, 149 plus plus. Okay, but this is slightly lower than 3, 4, 5. Let's take it at 150. So what is the risk to reward ratio? 3. So 1:3. Is it a good risk to reward ratio? Okay, you all think good, type a good. You think no good, type NG, in a chat. Okay, think of it. Okay, and you only put in the money that you are willing to lose. If you are willing to lose $5,000, put in 10,000. Okay, because when it dropped by 50%, never mind. Okay, is you have the wrong judgment. Okay, but if you are correct, you will be earning, okay, how much? 15,000 from your 10,000 investment. Okay, so now you say good, all right. So good, but anyway, drop more, buy more. Okay, some of you say that, okay. So yeah, that is another another thing, but we look at it logically. We don't predict, okay. But is this a good chance based on all the data we see? I think it is. Okay, good risk to reward. Make sense, okay, logically point of view. Okay, so maybe I can bring in Ginny or Zach. Any things to add on? The analysis that I just did.
I think there is two school of thoughts here, So I think Leslie mentioned something that is very strong earlier, is that the fundamental of Bitcoin doesn't change. Okay, and we are talking about Bitcoin here because I also see in the chat earlier just now, right, that someone are talking about altcoins and all this. Of course, altcoins, there are other ways, to look at it. Okay, there are other kind of risk management that you need to do. Okay, but let's say we're talking about in terms of Bitcoin, right? I also think that fundamentally nothing is wrong with it. Okay, so the fundamental is there. People are getting more and more. There are more and more adoption coming into place, especially with the technology behind Bitcoin. Okay, which is blockchain. Okay, and in for me myself, okay, I also long term hold Bitcoin and Ethereum. Okay, and my portfolio, as you know, like if I'm a holding portfolio, I would be quite drastic now, lah. But fortunately for me, I entered quite early in the market. Okay, so I think if you will have the conviction, okay, and you put in the amount of money, right, to believe into something that could potentially have a revolutionary change in the future, okay, I think this risk and reward ratio to me is fantastic. Okay, and of course, we for altcoins and all this kind of, we do have our trading method, like how we go in and out and all this kind of thing, but we don't want to talk about that here. Okay, so we talk about on particularly the holding school of thoughts. Okay, the holder. Okay, so to me, I also yesterday was a good time for my fire sale also lah. So I also pick up some warehouse sales. Okay, on Bitcoin, Ethereum, especially Ethereum. As you know, Ethereum transit towards the proof of stake POS. They are actually deflationary now also. Okay, so yeah, I think this is something that is a good chance for people who want to get into a more on a long term view in Bitcoin investing. Yep.
Okay, fantastic. Ginny, anything to say?
I think you guys have really put it already. This is also my strategy. I'm just chilling and just DCAing down, and do some a little bit of trading here and there while waiting for the market. Yeah, nothing much. You guys have well, I agree to you to the point. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Zach and Ginny. So, by the way, why are we so focused on Bitcoin right now? Is because Bitcoin is a big brother, right? So, whenever Bitcoin moves, the altcoin will follow next. So, it is important to look at Bitcoin first. Okay, whenever we have all these kind of crises, and the Bitcoin recovers, usually the altcoin will follow. Okay, make sense, right? So yeah, and this is for the technical analysis part, and we realize that we really enjoy the session. We hope that you enjoy it too, and we take more time than we thought we will take. Okay, but I see most of you are still here, so I'm very happy that I believe you are enjoying that. Okay, but let me go back to my slide as of now. Hold on, yeah, let me bring it up again. Okay. All right, so you can hold on. Let me see this. Okay, great. Okay, so yeah, this is a bit of technical analysis that we do. So let me give you a overall, okay, a summary of what we have mentioned, right? And number one is that we feel and we can obviously see that there's nothing fundamentally wrong with this crypto, okay? And it is a fear factor that actually causes crypto to fall, right? And looking at some of the on-chain data, it is mostly optimistic. Okay, like GPTC is buying more. The long-term holder are still holding, and many even MVRV and all that. Okay, so like I say, long-term holder are not selling. Institution like Grayscale accumulating more. Okay, and it's supposed to be the end of the bear cycle based on the 4-year cycle, right? And MVRV also shows us some interesting so-called facts that we probably can make use of in the coming weeks, right? And also technical analysis itself looks like it would go down further before we see any upwards movement, okay? Because yeah, it looks like it has to go down to minus 80% at least. So that will be between 13 to 14,000 range, okay? And we hope that we are correct, but we can never be 100% correct, okay? But if we manage our risk well, then we don't have to be worried so much, okay? You know how much you're willing to lose, put it in. The risk to the reward is pretty good. It's better, definitely better than you buy it at 69,000 or even 60,000, correct? Because it's being pumped up so much really. So what's stopping you? If you ever bought Bitcoin at 50,000 or even 30,000, there's no reason why 13,000 you won't buy, okay? If you believe in it. If you buy the hype, that's a different story. Okay, so if you still believe in it, then I think we should get involved. Okay, if you're really scared, then you should not get involved at all. Make sense? Okay, then that's the best. Then you have no risk. Okay, put your money in fiat, buy treasury bill. Okay, now 4.5% or something, right? Okay, so we hope that this information can really help you and make a good decision on when to start buying your Bitcoin. All right. So with all the bad news going around in crypto, we actually want to announce a piece of good news, okay, to you right now. Okay. So in fact, we will actually be having a Web3 NFT event that is physical in person. Okay. So it's been a while since we have physical events and all that. So if you we cannot see you, so if you attend this event and see us, just say hi, or we watch our Facebook live and all that. So don't be shy, we will be there. Okay, so we will be talking about metaverse, NFTs, and of course cryptocurrency as well. Okay, so let me just share with you very quickly what's the key highlight. Okay, wait, I need to switch my screen again. Okay, where's mine? Okay, right here. Okay, so it's a Asia New Art Fest. Okay, so it's again in person event. So if you are in Singapore, it's happening in Singapore. So if you are in Singapore, you can attend it. So it's on the next Saturday. So it's a full day event, and the key highlight is there are many guests that are quite high profile, I would say. So people like Nico Buffett, she's the granddaughter of Warren Buffett. Okay, so Jack Neo will be there. I think Singaporean, Malaysian will know him. Okay, Leon as well. Okay, so or even if you all follow J-pop one, maybe you'll know this. Okay, AKB48. Okay, Mary Buffett is there as well, ex-daughter-in-law of Warren Buffett. Okay, so and many other people. Right, And of course, you know, me, Ginny, I don't know Zach going or not, but me and Ginny will be there. Also very high profile. No, I'm kidding. Okay, we low profile, we low. Okay, so the ticket itself, you know, the general ticket itself is 190. Okay, so if you want to meet all these people, maybe I don't know, you are a fanboy or girl of AKB48. Okay, you want to meet her in person, then you have to get a VIP ticket. Yeah, then you have an exclusive meeting of the speaker itself, photo with them, your special VIP sitting and all that. Okay, then not only that, okay, even general ticket will entitled to 3 NFT airdrops. Okay, so this airdrop itself, it's supposed to be $200, what I call floor price. Okay, meaning you say that it's at least worth $200. So if you were to take this on, your ROI is straight away 200% because you can sell it for $600, 3 of them, right? Okay, so this is something that that you know, it's coming up in the next 1 week. Okay, so you know, if you like to be there, you can purchase the ticket. Okay, but let me just share something else. Wait, I need to keep switching my slides. Okay, let me just share something else very quickly. That in fact, okay, because today is what day? Today is 11/11. Okay, 11/11. Okay, so we want to actually give these tickets away. Okay, for free. Okay, for free. So there will be actually 5 tickets to be won and 1 VIP tickets. Okay, so how to win them? Let me show you. It's very simple. Okay, how to get these tickets for free? Okay, you just need to do two simple steps. Okay, very easy one. Okay, so today is not only 11/11, it's also Black Friday. So it's Black Friday 11/11 giveaway. Okay, so these 2 simple steps, again, let me show you. Wait, I need to switch the screen again. Okay, so this Facebook Live is a bit more troublesome to switch screen. Okay, great. Okay, so very simple. This link I'll put in the chat in a while in the comment. Okay, so all we need to do. So again, very upfront, to be very honest. Okay, we want to build up the community. Okay, so we want more people to join us. So you know, in our Telegram group and all that, so that whenever we have all these live Facebook Live talks, we can invite them, then they can come and watch. Okay, so very simple. All we want, right? Okay, is we hope that, of course, you haven't joined the Telegram, go and join. Okay, so later I'll give you the link. So invite 3 of your friends to join the Telegram based crypto groups. Okay, so if you like what we are sharing so far, do invite your friends. Okay, but we suggest this, like, you don't anyhow invite. Okay, because we really don't want to spam people. Okay, and we don't spam the group chat. We don't like spam 20 messages. We don't do that. Okay, so we only share some. I think some of you are in the Telegram. I hope you can testify for us, you know, on that. Okay, so we don't do. You must have friends that are probably interested in a bit of investing, blockchain or crypto. Then you invite them to join us. Hey, this group actually not bad. You can join in. Yeah, and it's if they don't like, they can anytime leave the channel or the group, correct? So I think it's fair, but you don't anyhow add. So we you know, just to qualify for this, hopefully at least they have some interest, and then they don't mind. Let them know first, you know, hey, you know, can you join this group? I think it's good. Yeah, so yeah, because we don't want to really anyhow spam people. Okay, so because to them, if the person not interested, one message also is a spam. Makes sense. I don't like crypto. One ask me, I don't play tennis. When you join, you ask me go into a tennis group. Cannot. I think it's a spam already. Okay, so just add people who are more interested. Okay, then the second step is just fill out the form. Once you so-called invite already, you just put the username. Okay, so of course they must join. Okay, because later 10 of you fill up, then after we go and check the chat, hey, how come nobody, not our subscribers still the same amount? we never invite. Okay, so yeah, we will check. Okay, but you can do multiple entry, meaning to say very simple. Let's say you are a person with a lot of friends, okay, then you can invite 30 of them. Okay, they just keep, you can put in more than 3 names, just keep on putting, and it's considered 10 entries. So your chance higher. Okay. So you invite your friend already, then your friend also can invite. Then you can go with your friend because potentially you'll get 2 tickets and all that. Okay, yeah, and yeah, very simple. Simple. Just 2 steps again, 2 steps only. So invite your friend. Firstly, join us. They just send them. You just send them this link already. Okay, later we'll put in the comment so you can find it. Okay, and hold on. Okay, I think that's it. Let me again go back to my slide. Give me a moment first. Okay, so simple. Two simple steps. If you think it's simple, just type a simple. Okay, simple. All right. So just in case you do not know where to get your friend's username. Okay, so when you click on your friend, right, okay, they usually have this. Of course, I blank out. Okay, so the username is right here. Okay, so username are public. So there's no privacy issue that, hey, I give my friend away. So again, they can leave the group if they don't find it useful. So you just invite people who think that, who probably is okay to receive all this information. All right. Okay. Simple. Okay. Great. Fantastic. So if you haven't joined the Telegram, actually the link to the crypto workshop is also in the Telegram. Okay. So if you're not joined it yet, then you probably can join it later. Okay. Or just scan this. Just scan this. So later we put in the comment. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And probably we take some questions. Very simple. So for this question with FTX in trouble, which exchange we could buy from? Okay, there are many exchanges, but German 9 usually is a quite regulated one, but again, we never know, right? Okay, so that's one. But my suggestion is open a few. Okay? Kraken, still got what? Crypto.com, there's KuCoin, BitMEX, okay, a lot. So you go into coin market cap, if they are in the top 10, top 20, it should be quite okay to use, right? But again, you never know, right? So like FTX and things like that. Okay. Okay, so where to buy the ticket if we don't win, right? So good question. Okay, that's people say Coinbase. Okay, so later I'll give you all the links. Okay, maybe I put in now. Okay, y'all give me a few seconds. Okay. So meanwhile, maybe Ginny and Zach can help to take some questions. I think there's one question about how about Ethereum? Okay, what do y'all think? So we go to below 1,000. Okay. Okay, while I settle the link thing, so at least everyone can have the link easier.
Okay. So this Facebook user, to be honest, we don't know. Okay, but at 1,000 price point, right, actually it has a very strong support. Okay, recently there's three support point, 3 proven point of support, and if you look it back into the history, I think there's also about 5 or 6. Okay, so 1,000 point, I think is a strong support point. Okay, and actually just now Jane was talking about NFT, right? Then I also realized this Ethereum, if it goes down, it means also if you have any of these blue chip NFT in mind, it is cheaper now also, okay, for you to buy because you trade all your Ethereum, right? Okay, I think that's why also Jingyi accumulating a lot of Ethereum now, or he already flipped already. I don't know. He always flip NFT.
Hey, but take note,
Okay,
if you
so
want to buy blue chip NFT, right? The one of the most famous one would be like the Boreya Club. Boreya Club, they are built by Yuga Lab. Yuga Lab is their founder, right? Or their team lah, their working team. And Yuga Lab is actually one of the major funders for FTX. So if they are investing those funds, those company funds into all these failed exchanges or failed projects, right? It will be very, very challenging for crypto space as well, for NFT space, sorry. Yeah, so take note of all this on whoever they are, whatever they are doing. Please be have some conviction instead of just follow what people buy, right? Now you can see that Bored is actually probably the most recognized NFT, um, but then they are, if you notice, they are only 1 to 2 years old, maximum 2 years old, right? 2 years old, how can you call themselves blue chip, right? So it has to be time tested. Like even when crypto actually started, right? Who knows that Bitcoin will be at this price, right? When they first started, everyone tell you that Bitcoin will be at 17K now, you'll be like, you must be out of your mind, right? So but then it is tested with time. So now everyone will be like, oh, actually they are more comfortable with things. Then again, for NFT, right, it's everyone's game to play, right? There's no one winner now. Although you are the winner now, doesn't mean you will be the winner. If they actually keep burning the investors' funds like that, right, it's very, very dangerous um, as a whole, if they are not very careful with investors' money, right? Yeah, so take note of that thing. Yeah, sorry, Zach, continue.
NFT expert advice is different. Okay. So yep. So thank you, Jingy, for the NFT advice. But what he mentioned, right, also bring me back to the point I wanted to also talk about when just now was someone was asking about the exchanges to use. Leslie actually introduced a few, right? But today in our sharing, right, we are talking more about the school of thought of what the holder, right, we mentioned it just now. So I also want to add this suggestion also. You can use any exchanges to buy. Okay, but if you want to hold, please move it out into a hardware wallet. Okay, into your hardware wallet or into your personal wallet, decentralized wallet. Okay, anything on the exchange is still a centralized wallet. Okay, it's still held by the exchanges. That's why FTS are having all the withdrawal issue now. Okay, so usually for us, I think that's the same thing. We some of the funds that are in the exchanger is prepared to trade. Okay, so we trade frequently with that. Holding account is always in a safe place in our decentralized wallet. Okay, so I think this is something that for those who want to buy, you think that now is a good price to buy, to look at the risk ratio, you think that is something that you want to go in and hold for the long term, then please shift out your funds for your holding account. Right. Okay, pass it back to Leslie.
Okay, yeah. Thank you very much, Zach and Ginny. So yes, do shift your funds if they are long-term holding. You plan to hold long-term in a wallet because and another exchange like FTX, then you probably lose a little bit. Yeah. So there is a rumor going around in Twitter and all that you can actually withdraw your FTX. Sorry, your assets from FTX using another route. Okay, I'm not sure. I've not tried it. Okay, but y'all want to know? You want to know? Type FTX FTX in the chat. Okay, so it's actually using something that we have been talking about. Especially Ginny. Okay, so this method, right? Because FTX have this NFT marketplace. Some people are actually using their crypto since it's stuck inside, right, to buy an NFT on the NFT marketplace, and then they, instead of transferring the crypto out, they transfer the NFT out to their wallet and all that. Okay, but of course, there's another question whether you can sell the NFT away to get back. I said no. There's another thing because maybe it's an NFT that nobody wants. Okay, but at least it's not stuck there. Right? You get me? So at least it's not stuck inside. So there's one method that maybe y'all want to try if y'all unfortunately have some asset that's being stuck in FTX. Okay, I hope not, but yeah, that's something you can explore. Try it. All right. Okay, so by the way, I've put it in the comment. So if you are watching this from the Facebook, you probably see it. So someone asked, right, where to buy the ticket if you don't win. So you go into this website. If you look at what is at the bottom right now, this cryptolearnsg.com/Black Friday, right? Okay, when you go in, at the bottom there's a link to the New Art Fest event, the direct link. Okay, so that's where you can buy the 1,890. Okay, so by the way, this thing we will run it until, because we need time to acquire the tickets and all that So by your don't buy it Okay, don't buy it because the chance of winning quite high one. Because right now we got about 30-40 people here, right? Okay, got 60K. Your chance of winning about more than 12%. Yeah, by the way, it's only for Singaporean or if you live in Singapore, because it's a physical event. So no exchange for cash, only ticket. So if you are someone from another country, probably if you still can participate, of course, then you give it to someone, who a friend that's living in Singapore. Okay, unfortunately that we can only do that for people in Singapore, right? So yeah, and we will probably we will run this until 15. Okay, 15 of November. So try to do that. Then okay, actually what I want to say is that we may give more lah. Okay, so don't buy it lah. Okay, okay, we may give more than 5 tickets. Okay, see our feeling, lah. Okay, because we see how's the response first. All right, okay. Yeah, sorry, just join us. It's better to transfer out, but may not be able to transfer because they have been stopping transfer from. Yeah, there's a question here. Must we transfer? You only have Doge and Ethereum. You try to transfer out. Okay, at least you try. If not, it's definitely stuck. All right. Okay. So any last question? I think we take 1.5 hours. And I can see that most of you still with us. I think that the numbers of viewers did not drop. So really appreciate that y'all stay with us. Friday night never go happy. Come and watch Facebook Live. that's very we are very appreciative of that. Y'all stay with us. It's also a proof that something interesting that let y'all stay long enough. Right? Okay, so don't worry, I don't see any more questions coming in, but if there are questions, just type in the same thread that you're watching this right now, because it's recorded there, so it's always there. So if you want to repeat and watch if you want to watch the recorded video, you can do that again, because maybe some points are not so clear, or you missed it. You can watch it again, then you can just put in the comment, put your question in the comment again. If we see it, then we will reply you by typing. Okay, so if not, we don't want to hold everyone back. We want to let everyone go and rest, so weekend you can have a good time with your family and all that. So just want to wish everyone to stay safe and trade safe as well. So Zach and Jenny, any last words for our audiences before we end?
Oh, it's 11:11. So remember to go and shop in Lazada or Shopee. Still got 1 hour and a half.
Yeah, after you add the 3 friends, then shop. This one move first.
Buy asset lah, buy asset lah. Don't Lazada and Shopee lah. Okay, got money, buy asset better.
Yeah, buy Bitcoin, All right, so yeah, so I last okay, because thick skin a bit you all want me to be upfront. Okay, tap before you all leave, tap the love button one last time. Okay, one last time before you drop off. Okay, so with that, good night everyone. Stay safe, trade safe, and to the moon. Bye bye.